What's up, guys? Welcome to our pick a card reading. I don't have a theme. I don't have a question. I sat here and asked what it is that we need at the time of me filming this, what it is that the listeners need at the time this is released. So we're gonna just see where these readings go. I'm doing this a little differently this time. Pile 1 is represented by the 10 of Wands. And pile 2 is represented by the 3 of Pentacles. So maybe take a second and just tap into how you're doing, what's been going through your mind today, what's been happening in the world around you, and maybe set an intention. You might already have one. Or maybe take the time to ground into this moment, to clear your space, to clear your energy, and just see what comes up for you. Starting with the 10 of Wands. Let's see what we have. So we have the Lovers card in reverse. This card's been wanting to come out so bad today, the Queen of Pentacles. The 7 of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles upright. Let me feel into this. We have lots of Wands energy at the bottom of the deck too. So Wands represent fire, represents our life force energy. When we're working with the 10 of Wands, we're really in the home stretch of whatever the fuck has been heavy, has been hard. And whatever it is, we're better at carrying at this point. It's not consuming us. It's still there. It still clouds our perception a little bit, but we are headed home. We are moving in the right direction. We are learning that we don't have to carry it all alone. We're learning that we are responsible for ourselves, for how we respond to things, for how we show up. And then we have the Lovers and we have the 7 of Wands, both in reverse. It feels kind of like a stalemate. Like in relationship with another. You're not interested in fighting. You're not interested in talking anymore. You're just kind of letting it go. At first, when I saw these 2 cards, I was like, I don't want to do this today. Like, I don't want to read for this kind of energy. Like, thinking it's combative and, like, relationship drama and bullshit. And, like, in a sense, it is. But with this Queen of Pentacles here, I also feel that you're picking and choosing your battles. And you aren't, like, biting someone's head off. You aren't starting a fight just to feel alive. That's really funny. I was texting in a group message the other day and someone was like, everything's feeling really calm. Like, I'm wanting to stir up some chaos. And that's kind of how this feels. Like, you're like, I'm not going to start some shit just because I'm bored. I am going to sit with this for a moment. And I feel like you're recognizing you. Like, you are, I fucking love this analogy and I've been using it a lot lately, like so much lately. Not even an analogy, but just this idea of who we are now is a culmination of everyone we've ever been. And I'm just focusing on this lifetime right now. So the cringy high schooler, the needy child, the abusive or manipulated partner. Like, all of those pieces of us are here. They're all present. And I feel like you are learning to recognize when the unhealed parts of yourself come alive. And when those pieces of us get really loud, I think that before our healing journey, or at the start of our healing journey, or when we don't have tools to regulate or recognize this part of ourselves becoming loud, we respond as that version of us. You right now are able to recognize, like, you feel the activation, you feel the trigger, you feel yourself wanting to have your feelings hurt or go the fuck off on someone, and you're like, wait, I'm actually safe. I feel this happening. I can feel it in my body. I can feel myself wanting to have a tantrum or a fit or get really loud or closed off, whatever it may be for you. And I'm going to sit with this for a moment before I respond. Like, maybe zoom out and see the big picture. Like, see why this person may be feeling the way that they are and saying the things that they're saying. And maybe they don't mean it the way that I think they mean it. Or the activated part of me is like feeling and sensing this. Also, I was reading something the other day in my notes that I'd written down, and it came from a tarot deck, I think, or like the idea of it came from a tarot deck. But this came while I was speaking, that we can turn judgment into understanding. I feel like judgment is something absolutely necessary for us to exist on this earth. Like, it keeps us safe, it keeps us grounded, it keeps us aligned. But we also have to have a healthy amount of compassion. Like, there has to be a balance between the two. There can't be one without the other. And when we are responding from this intense place of judgment, how can we transmute that judgment into understanding? It doesn't mean that we make excuses for other people's behavior. It doesn't mean that we allow people to walk all over us. There's still a boundary. But we can understand where that person is coming from instead of just completely shutting off and being like, fuck this person, I can't stand them. We're like, okay, I totally get where this person is coming from. It makes sense why they're behaving this way, why they're saying these things. When we come from a place of understanding, we can then assess, discern, show up for the conversation or the interaction, or don't show up depending on like what that boundary looks like for you and what that interaction looks like for you. So I feel like for this pile, you're kind of in this situation right now. And I know sometimes when I'm in this space and I want, like, there's such an eagerness for there to be a conclusion, like some kind of understanding formed, or I just really want to be angry, I will turn to like readings on the internet or my cards or something to just get a taste, to like feel seen, without having to call and get my family involved. I mean, of course you can like call friends if necessary, but like, I feel like you're in a little bit of a reclusive space where you're like, God, I don't even know like how to say like what it is I'm feeling right now. Like, there's so much happening, not enough happening. Like, you're just like, ah. And so I feel like this is kind of the reading that says, I see you. I recognize where you're at. You're doing a really good job. Like, just wait it out. Discern. Go for a walk. Say a prayer. And come back grounded with a new sense of understanding and have the conversation. Or maybe don't have the conversation. Sometimes there's a fucking tornado happening in my brain around an interaction with someone else, and they don't even know that I am in like crisis or discerning the entirety of my relationship with this person. And I take a walk, I say my prayers, I give myself some space for like a week or two, and then I come back and the conversation doesn't even have to be had because I recognize that whatever it was that happened was meant for me to see something in myself and show up differently and not stirring up a shitstorm. So I feel like whatever this is an invitation for you to show up a little bit differently. And you already kind of know this. That's why you're not like spouting off. And for some of you, maybe you did say a little something or think a little something or do a little something that maybe wasn't right. And I'm sorry is very powerful. Not an I'm sorry, but just an I'm sorry. And leave it at that. And have some grace for yourself. But I also feel like a few of you listening have a tendency to just like be assholes and then like manipulate a situation to make yourself the victim. I'm just like putting this out there. If that's you, this may be a lesson in doing that. Like, don't fucking manipulate the situation. 7 of Swords has been coming up a lot. I saw it when I was shuffling through this, trying to decide how I was going to go about this deck. And like, I'm not even going to go into 7 of Swords because there's so much I want to say about that card. I've been really sitting with that card. But like, please be mindful. If you are using your experiences to manipulate someone else in your life because you have acted out, because you have acted from this place of hurt and fear and anxiety, like, we fuck up. But don't manipulate your partner or your friend into feeling sorry for you because you are too prideful to just say that you're sorry. And I think that sometimes that comes from fear of being abandoned whenever we fuck up. So we kind of like start like grasping for straws and manipulating the narrative and like using our like very emotional reactions to be like forgiven or get what we need. And I'm like closing my eyes and like feeling so deeply into this because I definitely am guilty of this sometimes. I feel like a lot of our parents taught us to behave that way too. So don't fucking manipulate the situation, okay? Let's pull one more card and then move on to pile 2. One more. 7 of Pentacles. I love this card. I love the 7, 8, and 9 of Pentacles so much. It's pausing. It's staying in your lane. Working on yourself. Working on your shit. Taking yourself a little minute. Wait, this is the 8 of Pentacles. I still love this card. Focusing on something. Being dedicated to something. Knowing that it isn't perfect. But what is it you're putting your time and energy into? What is it you're choosing to focus on right now? And shifting gears if you're like in the process of manifesting something you don't actually want, like focusing on the bad, focusing on the dark, focusing on the heavy, focusing how you're a victim, da 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 da. What are you focusing on? All right. Pile 2. Give me just a second. Pile 2 is the 3 of Pentacles. What is it that is wanting to be shared in this 3 of Pentacles pile? See you. 4 of Cups, the Moon, and Judgment. Wow. Let me soak this for just a moment. Well, I'm like, we have 3, 4, the moon, and judgment. I feel like there's like a sequence of things happening. Like a coming together, a working together. Like a situation that isn't ideal. You're not unhappy where you are, but it's not really where you want to be. And I feel like this itch to make a change. But I also feel that this 3 of Pentacles situation is really good. Like the place that you don't want to be, that you find yourself, like not unhappy, but not ideal. I'm feeling like a huge sense of like shift your attitude. Like be really aware of how you're showing up in this space. Like if you're showing up with it, I don't really want to be here, this is just temporary, but like with a chip on your shoulder, like not giving it 100%, I feel like it's kind of fucked up, and like there's a lot to learn in this space, and you're really taking, like you are where you are meant to be right now. You're being called to serve in this space, to show up in this space. And when a 3 is present, it is just a moment in time. So whatever this is not forever. If it's not your ideal, that's fine. But also other people are involved. So your attitude, the way you show up affects everyone. How are you showing up in this space that isn't ideal for you? You have to be here right now. This is where you're meant to be right now. You've been calling something in. This is a stop on your journey. I also feel like there's something kind of new and shiny, or like something distracting you. It might even be from the past. There's a distraction. There's a distraction that is making you, I don't even know if you realize it, that's making you like, it's like interfering with your energy, and it's giving you like a stinky vibe, like a like bratty, and like, I don't know, like I'm feeling a lot of ego, like the worst kind of ego, like too cool for school, like kind of, I see you like blocking out a lot of people who really love you right now, and you are so hyper focused on this distraction that you're being kind of a dick and you don't realize it. You're like in selfish mode, like it's about me, like I am here to focus on me. Like I think about everyone else, but now it's time to focus on me. It feels bad. Like it doesn't feel good. So whatever that thing is that is tapping at your door, that is vying for your attention. I feel like for some of you too, it's like pages you follow on Instagram that are feeding a very, very unhealthy narrative for you right now. So where in your life are you like rolling your eyes and annoyed to be in existence with another person or in a certain situation? And check yourself. Check yourself. Again, I'm sharing all of this from a place of love. I've been doing a lot of soul searching myself and like recognizing the ways that I myself have shown up or continue to show up in these ways. And it's really, really, really hard to catch and to call yourself out on. It's so easy to make excuses for our behavior when we're not in the happiest place. But I feel like the thing is right now, like today is today. It's always today. It's always this moment. Always. That's it. So we can have goals, we can have dreams, we can have ambitions, we can not love where we are, but at the same time, like this day right here is a gift. You are in interaction with other people whose day is also a gift. How do you show up? How do they show up? How do your energies together create the vibe for the day? What is it that you're contributing to that vibe? What is it they are contributing to that vibe? What is this distraction contributing to that vibe? Are you getting sucked into your phone? Are you reading or listening to things that are like feeding a victim mentality? I feel like that's really loud right now too. It was loud in the other reading. Like what's missing, the trap, I feel like in both of these readings, is a lack of feeling empowered, like feeling disempowered, allowing yourself to slide into that. Where can you tap into feeling empowered without shitting all over someone else? Sure, you want to be selfless, you've spent your whole life self-sacrificing, that's fine. But is your season of me robbing other people in your life of joy? Or causing you to abuse other people in your life? Define fucking line. Carolyn Myss talks about in her book, The Anatomy of Spirit, how there's a season in life where narcissism is absolutely necessary. And I've kind of said this too, like you beep bop along through life, you're listening to what your parents tell you, what society teaches you, and then we get to a point where you are mature enough to make your own choices for yourself. You feel like you know yourself, you feel like you want to change some things, you establish some boundaries with family and friends who've been around a long time, and not everyone likes it. Like some people are going to push you away, some people are going to fight you tooth and nail, and you may very well be doing the best thing for you, and that's okay. Like sometimes we need space around the people we love the most so that we can ground and like sort out what it is we're working on and like have this period of feeling selfish and then go out back into the world, like having a better idea. And it's better, I feel like, to take that space and to be a little selfish and not hurt the people around us with words and actions that we're not really like solid in, like values we're not really solid in yet. Like you need time to integrate. Space is fine, a boundary's fine. And that period where everyone thinks you're a fucking narcissist because you are taking a moment to yourself, I think is fine. Especially after reading Carolyn Myss's book, I really like how she puts this into perspective. But that doesn't mean that you get to shit all over other people while you're figuring that out. Just like in the last reading, we may have these moments where we're like activated and like feeling something really intensely and we're just kind of like, fuck that person. We don't always have to say it out loud. We can think it and just take some space and figure it the fuck out and discern before we engage. So if you are in a season of me, of taking care of yourself, that's fucking fine. But is your behavior interfering and interacting and shitting on other people? These have been really like calling out readings. I don't usually feel like, I don't know. If this is speaking to you, if this is speaking to someone in your life, I'd really like to know. Have some grace on this journey for yourself, for the people around you, and know that these are normal things, themes, situations that happen on this journey. One step at a time, one day at a time, 15 minutes at a time. All we've got is today. How can you show up today? Your card in closing this reading is Ace of Wands. And for you guys, this feels like a new way of wielding, of holding, of containing your fire element. Your life force. Your compassion, your creativity, your spark, your flame, your fire, your anger, your frustration, like whatever that fire is for you right now, it's a new way of wielding it. Check your attitude. Zoom out. Look at the big picture. I love you guys. Play nice.